on WBNE.
Dear listener, today's going to be a good day, and here's why.
Because today we're heading back to Broadway. I'm Becca.
And I'm Eni, and this is Sincerely Us, a podcast for the casual musical theater fan. That happens like during our intro now, remember? Hi, Becca.
I'm like that clown emoji that all the youths use after they say something silly.
Do the youths use the clown emoji?
Yeah, to make themselves, when they're like, it's really hard to explain. No, I get it. It's hard to explain.
Oh, like saying you're the clown because you.
Yeah, so you'll say something that's like really not true, and then you'll add a clown emoji at the end to show that you like recognize that it's not true. We're gonna get so many messages in our Discord.
I can hear Ali screaming at us right now.
And Tori.
Yeah. Okay, what are we talking about today?
Eni, I think I'm going to give you the pleasure of announcing what we're talking about today.
Okay, so we're talking about Jordan Fisher today, guys. Like, just Jordan Fisher.
For our second episode for our Black History month, like we're celebrating Black History Month on SU, and it's our second artist spotlight that we're calling Center Stage now.
Are we? Did we decide on that? Because I gave you the idea, and you were like, yeah, sure.
Eni, I say sure about everything. If I don't fight against it, then it means I'm fine with it.
Becca, you know how I feel about that word.
I know. I'm sorry. You know how you feel about that word too.
I know.
No saying sorry.
No saying sorry. Yeah. So this is Center Stage : Jordan Fisher.
So are we gonna have to only focus on artists that have the name Jordan in their name?
I mean, possibly.
I think we should do a female next time. So we have to find a Jordan that's a female or has Jordan
Sparks
as her last name.
Done.
Maybe. I saw her live.
That's amazing.
Yeah, with guess who? Guess with who? Guess.
With who?
Guess.
I don't know.
Who have I seen the most?
With the Jonas Brothers?
Yeah. She toured with them in 2009.
I was unaware.
Yeah, she sang Battlefield.
I cannot think of that song off the top of my head, if I'm being honest.
Battlefield, battlefield, when your heart is here like a battlefield. Battlefield.
Thank you. All right, now I got it. Yeah, so we're talking about Jordan Fisher today. This episode is coming out in conjunction with the release of Becca's freaking out,
To all the boys
y'all.
I've loved before, P.S. I still love you.
Yeah, that one. Where Jordan Fisher is playing John Ambrose McLaren, who is the best character.
See, you know how we always talk about how so this isn't like a remake, obviously, because this is the first one, but we always talk about how if you're going to redo something or like create it in another medium, then you need to change it. This is one of those instances. Is
John Ambrose, like, described in the book? I don't remember.
Yep, he's described as a tall, blonde, white male with blue eyes.
Well, that
Guess
is like
who Jordan
the
Fisher is
opposite of Jordan Fisher. Jordan Fisher is not blonde. He is not tall. And he
does not have blue eyes.
He does not have blue eyes. So for those that don't know, Jordan Fisher is currently playing Evan Hansen on Broadway.
He just started a week and a half ago.
I know. I'm so excited. Your baby. My baby.
I know, your baby. But anyone who plays Evan is my baby.
I mean, fair. He is, like we said, playing John Ambrose McLaren in To All the Boys I Love You. To All the Boys I Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You.
I think it's just To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You.
These
I don't know.
titles are too
To All the
long.
Boys I Love Too. Well, because
I'm sure
book
Casey
is just
loves
called
it.
P.S. I Still Love You.
I know. And then
Casey would love it.
And then the other one is Always and Forever Lara Jean.
Yeah, Lara Jean. Yeah. I just listened to all three of them in 1 week.
I listened to them.
It's only my favorite book series right now.
I listened to them last year. And I liked them. I thought they were really good. I just did not retain a lot of information.
Well, to be honest, I didn't retain a lot of information besides how much I would die for Peter Kavinsky. And I don't say that about a lot of people because, like, that's intense, but Peter Kavinsky is perfect.
Yeah, I'm definitely Team McLaren. Sorry.
No one's Team McLaren.
Yes. Valerie is.
Valerie, you're wrong.
Oof. No, you're not, Valerie.
That's okay. She'll just have to come on the show and go against that claim.
I mean, I'm down for Valerie to be on the show at any point.
Always.
Okay, so what else has Jordan Fisher done? Jordan Fisher...
What else has Jordan Fisher done?
Hold on. Because that is going to be the last thing we talk about.
Oh, okay.
So Jordan...
He was in Teen Beach Movie.
I'm sorry. Try that again?
He was in Teen Beach Movie.
Okay, yeah. But hold on. Let's start from the beginning. So... For those that don't know,
place to start.
I read Jordan Fisher's wiki before we started recording, and I literally told Becca, like, I haven't learned anything, which tells you a little bit about how much I admire and love Jordan Fisher. So Jordan Fisher was born in Alabama. He's actually adopted by his grandparents. His mom was had a lot of issues with substance abuse and stuff like that. So him and his two siblings were adopted by his grandparents and were raised by his grandparents. And I actually learned that from when he was on Dancing with the Stars, because he dedicated a dance to them, which like made me weep. It was, oh my god. First of all, he won Dancing with the Stars that year. Second of all, he's amazing. There's nothing he can't do.
But wasn't he already a qualified dancer at that point? Like, hadn't he already taken dance classes and stuff? So does that count?
Yes, it does.
Not supposed to be an amateur.
No. I mean, he had been in Hamilton.
To be fair, though, he didn't dance in Hamilton.
He didn't dance in Hamilton because, like...
Well, very little dancing.
Yeah, he wasn't a dancer in Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think he was, like... That's the thing, is he wasn't a trained dancer. Had he probably taken dance classes and dance lessons throughout his, like, schooling and, like... Disney Channel life, absolutely, but I don't think in any way he was a professional dancer.
Oh, then I guess I'm wrong.
Okay, well, so yeah, he was on the Disney Channel. He was in Teen Beach Movie, which I've actually never seen because I was already a little old at that point.
I was old for it, so you definitely were.
So I didn't know him from Disney Channel, believe it or not. I actually learned of him because he was John Lawrence in Hamilton. And then Moana came out, and he is on like the radio version of You're Welcome with Lynn.
Mm-hmm. I love that video too. That was the first time I heard of him.
I usually don't like the like radio versions of the Disney songs.
Yeah, I almost exclusively don't.
With a couple of exceptions. The last, like, the ones on Frozen 2 were pretty awesome. I know that you have your feelings about them, but the Panic at the Disco one's great, and the Weezer one's great.
Oh no, I like them. I just don't agree with the notion that they're better than the originals. That's it. I don't think
that they're better. I think they're different. That's kind of my sentiment, is that the radio version or the radio edit, pop edit, whatever you want to call it, is always going to be different. I don't think that one is better than the other. I think that they both, there's enough love in the world for both of them.
I just don't like when people are like, Brendan Urie is so much better at singing Into the Unknown. And I'm like, okay, but he's just not. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Idina Menzel. Brendan Urie better than Idina Menzel? Come on now.
I mean, I will take the Panic at the Disco version of The Greatest Show.
I guess. I mean, yeah, it's better. But there's enough love in the world for both of them. Anyway, so he did the pop version with Lynn of You're Welcome. And I love that version of You're Welcome. It's so different from the original, and like just it's so good. And his like whistle tones at the end are like insane.
He's just incredibly talented. He's also my favorite TikTok star.
He's only recently on TikTok.
I know. He's so good. Everyone right now, I'm going to put it in the description. And by that, I mean, Enie's going to put it in the description. And it's just going to be his video of him the first day that he was Evan. And he's just so cute. I love him so much.
Oh my
he's
God.
Just so adorable.
I'm so like, so good. So I knew who he was because when he had taken over as John Lawrence for a bit, and Philip Hamilton. And then You're Welcome came out, and then I was like fully invested in his life. And then he went on Dancing with the Stars, and I have legitimately never watched Dancing with the Stars in my life. And I watched that entire season.
That was the most watched season ever.
I believe it. I believe it. I mean, it was a good cast that season, because I know that wasn't that also there was another YouTuber on that season as well.
Yeah, because he's a Twitch streamer too.
Well, he's also fairly new to the Twitch streaming thing, but yes, he's also a Twitch streamer.
The only Twitch stream I've ever watched. Jordan Fisher's.
I watch Twitch streams a lot. He plays a lot of Fortnite, which is not me cursing. It's me actually saying the word Fortnite. And I'm not a huge fan of that game, so I don't necessarily like to watch him stream that. But a lot of the times, like, I'll put the stream on just to, like, listen to him, because he'll, like, randomly just start singing or, like, talking about, like, random musical theater-y
like
things.
Brendan Urie. Yeah.
I also follow him on Twitch. Oh, so through Dancing with the Stars, he actually dances to You're Welcome. Like, he danced to You're Welcome on Disney Night.
So I need to go watch all of his dances.
Yes.
Because I don't really like Dancing with the Stars, because it's not like the style of dance I do.
Well, they do all... Well, yeah. They don't do clogging, but they do, like, all different sorts of styles of dances. It was very, like... As someone who knows absolutely nothing about dance, it was really entertaining to watch. Mainly because I just wanted Jordan Fisher to win everything. And actually, most weeks he did. So, yeah.
He's just so personable, I feel like. That's why.
He has such a nice smile.
So did you discover him... So you discovered him when he was on Hamilton, not, like, when he became the Disney boy?
No. So, I discovered him... Funny enough, I did not discover him through Disney. I discovered him because I was, I had notifications on for Lin-Manuel Miranda's Twitter for, like, the longest time.
Oh my god, your
and
phone
then
must have blown up.
I was gonna say, and then wondered why my phone was always dying.
That's me and Hank Green right now.
But yeah, so when it was announced, I was aware. And then, like, they just kind of started, like, posting videos of him, like, singing and him, like, getting into, like, his costume and all his stuff. And I was just like, man, who is this person?
Who's this cutie?
Yeah.
He's, like, really cute.
He's, like, really cute.
But, like, okay. So the thing with me is, while I usually really like people who are conventionally attractive, and he is very conventionally attractive, he also is, like, just such a, like, sweet human being. Like, obviously I don't know him personally, but and I wasn't even really, like, I knew of him, but then I became friends with Eni, who was like, have you heard about this boy? He's great. And by boy I mean, like, actual adult. He's not a boy, but it's fine.
No, he is an adult.
But he has, like, the best social media presence. First of all, he's so sweet. He's, like,
I feel like he's, like, legitimately always smiling. Like, he's either, like, smiling or, like, crying while he's smiling. So, like, I don't think I've ever seen him, like, angry or, at least in social media, obviously, or his Twitch streams or anything like that. Like, he's always just, like, super positive and super, like, happy. And, like, he's literally just got engaged to his childhood sweetheart. Like, they've known each other since they were children. It's, like, insane. And it's just, I love him so much.
But, like, we always, I'm always very hesitant to talk about, I mean, my love for someone that I'm, like, just starting to get into, because I'm always scared that, like, something's gonna come out where, like, they're problematic. Ever since 2017.
I get that. I mean, like I said, I only know what he wants me to know. Yeah. So, like, I only know, like, what he puts on social media, like, how he is in interviews, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's just, like, he is, from what he puts out, I completely admire him, like, as a creator, as an artist, as, like, everything. Like, he's just, like, he's amazing to me. And he actually, like, he has solo music as well, which is really good. I just watched an interview right before he took stage as Evan Hansen, and, like, the way that he talks about the part and the way that he's, like, just admires Ben Platt and everybody who has played Evan, and how much energy and how much, like, emotion and everything goes into that part. Like, he has such respect for it, and, like, that is so admiring, and it's so kind of refreshing to see Whereas, like, I've seen people that are like, yeah, it's a good part or whatever. Like, I like it, that just, like, no, like, give off this feeling that they're just gonna crush it. And, like, every time I've heard Jordan Fisher talk about playing Evan, like, he's super, not, like, nervous or anything about it. He's just, like, very respectful of the part and the way that it's written.
I even liked, so he is an adult. I think he's my age. I think he's 25. And
yes,
the Evan before him was a 17-year-old. And even, like, hearing him talk about Andrew is, like, a lot of people wouldn't be as respectful of a like, I know Andrew obviously is a professional and stuff like that, but they wouldn't be as respectful just because he's 17. And, like, seeing
absolutely,
like, their friendship and stuff grow on social media and, like, the way that they talk about each other is, I don't know, it's pretty admirable.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that, like, with Dear Evan Hansen especially, like, both of us have seen that show and see, like, literally the raw emotion that it takes to play Evan, you know, and the ability to capture, like, Evan's anxiety and everything. Like, you have to, as an actor, I would imagine, because I'm in no way an actor, you have to, I would imagine you have to, like, dig deep for that kind of stuff. And I know that Ben Platt has talked about how much energy playing that role took from him.
I mean, there's a reason nobody does it 8 times a week.
Yeah.
I don't even think they're allowed to do it twice in a day.
Really?
I don't know. I don't think so, because they have 2 matinees a week, and that would make sense, because it's split up between 6 and 2. But even, like, going back to that TikTok that I referenced earlier, even watching him do that little teeny bit of Evan when he changes, like, into the costume, even, like, instantly looks nervous, and then, like, starts, like, biting his lip and stuff and looks nervous. I mean, and then he becomes himself at the end. But it's just really respectful.
I just remembered another role of his.
Oh, what?
He was in Grease Live.
Oh, yeah, the only one I like.
I was gonna say, the one that you actually like, with Aaron Tveit.
Oh, and we'll have to do one on him, too. I love him.
But his name's not Jordan.
I know, that was kind of a joke.
Oh, no, that's it. Like, I'm committed.
Well, okay, so John and Hank Green have a joke, or they used to, they don't do it anymore, but, like, their bonus show, like our green room, is called This Week in Ryan's, because of a really old joke on Dear Hank and John. And so they would it started as them covering famous people named Ryan and, like, people in the world named Ryan, and then they kind of got off that, and so it was always like Barack, Ryan, Obama. So that's gonna be us.
That's exactly what
Aaron,
we're gonna do.
Jordan, Tveit. But so I remember in an interview, this is kind of related, in an interview with Andrew Barth Feldman, he said that they were talking about how a lot of people compare him to Ben Platt, and, like, how it was really hard for him to overcome and things like that. And he said that he took it as kind of like a compliment because people really care about who Evan is. He said, you know, everyone cares about who Elphaba is. Like, the second a new Elphaba is announced, we look her up, and we, because everyone really, really cares about Elphaba.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, everyone really cares about Evan, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. He's like, I have to remember that as fans, they really care about who takes this character and puts them on stage every night. And so it's really nice to see, you know, Jordan be so, like you said, respectful of the part, because honestly, there isn't really another part for me that's like that. There isn't really a part that I care so much that this character is taken care of. Because I relate to him so much. And
I also think it has a lot to do with how vulnerable the character is, and how, like, that role is written so vulnerably and so, like, raw, and, like, just you see all of his flaws, like, immediately.
Right. Literally from the first monologue.
Yeah, and I know how defensive and like how protective you are of Evan as a character, because when I was, like, super excited that Jordan Fisher was announced, you were a little hesitant at first.
I was.
And I mean, I get it. Like, I completely get it. And I'm not, like, upset about it or anything and whatever. But I honestly, since it was announced and all the press that he's done since then, I think that he's, like, proven himself to be ready to step up.
To be honest, not when he was announced, like, obviously a little before that I knew who he was. When I didn't know to what extent dent that of his career it was. Like, I was worried it was going to be like a Cameron Dallas situation with Mean Girls.
Let's not, please.
I know. Listen. But I thought it was going to be like that because I was like, listen, Evan Hansen is doing great. Why are they bringing this big name into it? There's no need for them to bring in this guy that's been on Disney and all of that. And I was like, I just want it to be a nobody like Ben Levi Ross, and this is supposed to be what starts their career. And I was just comparing him to all the other Evans.
I mean, to be fair, literally the only other Broadway show he's been in is Hamilton.
No, I know, but he was also in like Grease Live, and he's done other things like with.
And Rent. Oh my god, what is wrong with me?
Oh yeah, Mark.
I keep ignoring like all of the live shows that are on TV.
He actually killed it as Mark.
I know. I was so sad. Ugh,
yeah, I'm still sad about that.
I like when they announced the Rent Live, I want to say almost a year in advance. And like as they announced everybody, when I saw Jordan Fisher was going to be Mark, like number one, how excited he was to be playing Mark.
Yeah.
And number two, for him to be playing like one of my favorite characters in that show.
That's
I was
my favorite
like,
character, yeah.
And then like, oh my god, everything that happened at the last minute, I was just so upset.
I'm still upset. I just think that they should have just had Roger sit the whole time.
You can't.
You can.
You can't.
You can write around it. Yes, you can. There's ways around everything.
You can't.
Or it's not like he's in Tango Maureen. Yes, you could have. You could have found ways for Roger to sit. Roger doesn't dance.
I guess.
Like, it would have been fine. But anyway. Or they could have, like, made a joke at the beginning that was like, Roger, remember when this happened and you fell down the stairs? Like, you could have done something, guys. Anyway. But also, you should have just had understudies.
I was like, they could have just had an understudy. Like any other production.
This is why no one takes the live show seriously. Anyway.
For real.
I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, so I thought that this was just like star power, to be honest, because I know he had worked with Lynn before. I didn't know he was in Hamilton. And like you said, I'm just very protective of little baby boy Evan. He's just my son, and I love him. Him and Crutchy are my little boys.
Oh my god, did you see what they're doing in Salt Lake?
Yes, I want to see it. What are they doing in Salt Lake, Eni? I can't talk about it. You can.
So they're putting on a production of Newsies in Salt Lake City that is in English, obviously. Like, it's whatever. But they're also doing it in sign language.
Yeah, I thought it was exclusively in sign language.
No, I thought that the thing said it was spoken and I in my head, I saw it as a, like, how they did Spring Awakening when they did the...
Every time anyone mentions Spring Awakening, all I think about is Alex Boniello, and then I go back into grieving. Because he was in that production of Spring Awakening.
Was he?
Yeah. That's what started his whole career. I don't know. I think he might have been just ensemble. But that's what, like, started his career.
Because Tori just posted... Yeah, it's done entirely in both ASL and spoken English.
Cool.
Wait, so if it's spoken English, does that mean that they're not going to sing?
No, it just means they'll talk out loud.
What
we're doing right now is spoken English.
And we're not singing.
This is what I'm doing. This is also spoken English.
That's sang through English. So yeah, that's what I thought. It's going to be the same kind of concept as the Spring Awakening revival, where they'll have actors or deaf actors that are signing, and then have like shadow actors who are singing.
That's so cool.
I want to go too, but Salt Lake City is very far.
It is.
And flights are very expensive.
Yeah, because it's about to be springtime.
Not that I already looked them up.
No.
It would be a good excuse to go to Salt Lake and visit some friends.
We don't have friends in Salt Lake.
No?
No.
Okay.
We have best friends in Salt Lake. 2 other creators on the WB&E network, Casey and Valerie Winters. I should put Valerie first because she's my favorite. Valerie and Casey Winters.
Guys, I know we talk about them a lot on the show, and I'm sorry. But we love our friends.
But, like, I would talk about them anyway, because we also talk about the McElroys on there, and they are not our friends. So...
We do talk about the McElroys a lot.
Yeah.
What were we saying? Jordan Fisher was the first person of color to play Mark.
Really?
Yeah.
That's atrocious.
Let me make sure I'm right about that.
If that's true, that's atrocious. Like, didn't they just do it last year?
Mm-hmm.
That show has been out for like 25 years.
Has it been that long?
I think it was 94 or 95.
I thought it was 99.
I don't know. You're about to find out.
Oh no, I'm looking up Jordan Fisher's Instagram.
I love Jordan Fisher.
Because he made like a huge announcement.
He is not the first Evan of color though, because that goes to Roman Banks. Samantha Barks was in my head.
He's the first full-time though, right?
He's the first full-time.
Okay.
Yeah, because Roman's he's not he's a swing. He's a swing because he plays both Connor, Jared, and Evan. He's very talented. You should follow him on Instagram. I don't know his handle, or else I would say it right here. I think it's just Roman Banks.
I want to be the first Mark. Yeah, he is the first Mark Cohen of color. I remember reading his caption when they announced it. He said, so 14 years ago, I sat at a dinner with a mentor of mine and a bunch of other friends. Mentor said, let's talk about manifestation. I want specific dreams from each of you. It was my turn. I said, I want to be the first Mark Cohen of color in Rent. It was the show that made me want to pursue the industry, and then it closed on Broadway. Here we are now. Crying. See y'all January 27th, which was when Rent Live was.
Oh my God. That was like 2 weeks ago.
I mean, like 2019. No, I know. So
like
a year.
2 weeks ago.
And 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember reading that, and I was just like, oh my God, I love him so much.
Wow.
I know.
Another cool thing about him joining, I'm back to Dear Evan Hansen. I'm not sorry. Another thing cool about him joining Dear Evan Hansen is that every single Evan in the Broadway production right now, including swings and understudies, are all people of color.
Guys, I've been crafting a lot.
It's been great.
It's so like therapeutic for me.
Enie's making me a D20 because I'm obsessed with Dungeons and Dragons.
For her laptop.
Not like an actual D20, but like a sticker D20.
I'm also making some presents for our fellow creators on the WBNE network. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, they probably will be shipped by the time this episode comes out.
I love how you're giving me a deadline.
Yeah. There's your deadline.
All right, well, there's my deadline.
Also, you know what came out today, Enie? As of this release of this episode? Do all the boys have left before P.S. I still love.
Oh my, I'm sure you've watched it.
Oh, I'm waiting until 3 a.m.
Why 3 a.m.? Does it not post
That's
at
when it
12?
goes on Netflix. Well, because it's midnight in California.
Oh, that's rude.
I agree. To be fair, though, we get everything first, so like...
It should just be midnight wherever you are.
That's not how servers work.
That's how Spotify servers work. Music definitely comes out at midnight wherever you're at, so Netflix needs to figure that out.
That's not how that's not how servers work. Clown emoji.
You're such a nerd.
You're a nerd. I've only spent 34 minutes on TikTok today. I am detoxing.
I'm so proud of you, considering you downloaded it and then the next day you spent like 12 hours on it.
7, don't exaggerate. But I also was sick, so like...
I know, but every time I texted you, you were like, I'm on TikTok.
Every time you texted me, I just responded with a TikTok.
Yeah. Every time you send me a TikTok now, I'm like, get off TikTok.
Literally every time. I'm like, leave me alone.
I say fully aware that I was awake until like 4 a.m. on TikTok.
Yeah, literally. It's fine. But our phones aren't addicting. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not at all. So Jordan Fisher. Okay. It's time to talk about it, guys.
Enie made me wait until now.
So, the biggest reason that Jordan Fisher is the love of my life is because he is the voice, one of the voices.
The important voice.
That's rude.
Who's the other girl?
I don't know, but that's still rude.
I just love him. I don't know who that person is.
I know, but it's rude to say she's not important.
Fine, she is important and I love her.
Okay. She's
female. I love her.
One of the voices of the Magic Kingdom fireworks show.
But not only just the fireworks. Which fireworks show did he first be in?
I'm sorry, was that English?
No, but you knew what I meant. Did he first be in?
He was in Happily Ever After.
Oh, I thought it was Wishes.
No, he wasn't Wishes.
Oh.
He's in Happily Ever After. So he sings the Happily Ever After song.
Happily Ever After.
That's not how that goes.
Oh, is it not?
That was like the Ever Ever After from Enchanted.
I don't know that movie, so I don't know where that came
that's what
from.
you just sang. Like, that was that song.
A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep In dreams you will lose your... Someone tweet me right now and tell me which rendition of I Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes I'm singing right now. Please no.
Am I not allowed to answer?
All right, this is going to be another Dora the Explorer thing. Okay, ready? All right, you answer
Swiper, no
wherever
swiping.
you answer wherever you are right now. Are you in your car driving? Answer it out loud. Do it out. Listen, if you were in Starbucks right now and you were working on stuff and listening to our voices, say it out loud. What was I
For the world to hear.
Okay, Eni, what was I referencing?
It's the Disney Mania version. The Disney Stars.
It's the Disney Channel Stars, yeah. With, like, why were Dylan and Cole Sprouse on there? Who knows?
I don't know. But yeah, so he sings Happily Ever After, which is the intro and outro song to the nighttime extravaganza. And I understand that word is weird, but it's not just a fireworks show. Like, there are, if you've never been to Disney, number one, I'm so sorry. Number two, the fireworks show at Magic Kingdom is my favorite thing.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter what show it is, to be honest.
It does.
Is there a show you don't like?
At Magic Kingdom?
Spill that tea, yes.
I mean, that's the only fireworks show.
No, they have other shows. It's not just Happily Ever After. There was Wishes.
Oh, okay. Well, Wishes doesn't happen anymore. Wishes retired, and then it was Happily Ever After.
Wishes was my fave.
Wishes was also Christy's favorite, and I loved Wishes, don't get me wrong, but Happily Ever After
has Jordan Fisher in it.
Regardless of Jordan Fisher, and that's saying a lot, regardless of Jordan Fisher, Happily Ever After, like, hits my emotions like nothing else in this world. It has, like, this perfect combination of castle projections, lasers, fireworks, music, and then in between the actual Happily Ever After song sang by Jordan Fisher is just a montage of Disney songs. And they go, like, deep cut. Like, Hunchback of Notre Dame is on there, which is, like, not
Your
even
fave.
It's actually Linson's favorite.
Hi, Linton.
Yeah, we had that conversation early on in our relationship, and I was just like, what's your favorite Disney movie? He's like, I don't remember watching Disney movies a lot. And then I was like,
oh, no.
And then he was like,
pulled out a deep cut.
Yeah, and then he's like, actually, I think my favorite is Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I was like, what? Okay.
No one's favorite is Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Right? And no shade on Hunchback. Like, I like the movie Hunchback well enough. I love the stage adaptation cast recording so much. But yeah, he was like, yeah, Hunchback is my favorite. And I was like, okay. So when Wishes premiered, I want to say 3 years ago now, 2 years ago, I wasn't able to go.
Wishes or Happily Ever After?
I'm sorry, Happily Ever After.
Oh, okay. I was like, Wishes, the last time it was done in like 2016, wasn't it?
Was it 2016?
Because I definitely saw it.
Was it it was after 20, I want to say it was like 2017, 2018.
I'm pretty sure it was 2017, because I saw it at the end of 2016. I saw it like the second week of December 2016.
Okay, so then I think like Wishes ended then like in May, and I wasn't able to go for Happily Ever After, and like my blackout dates for my annual pass for the summer start in like in mid-June. So I wasn't able to go the entire summer. I did not watch like the live stream of the first one. I unsubscribed from like so many Disney accounts on Instagram because I couldn't. I didn't want to see it on a screen. I wanted to see it. So I finally was able to see it that September once my blackout dates were like, I was able to go back to the park with my annual pass, and we went like super dead day, like there wasn't that many people. We got like a great spot for the fireworks, and I was just like, my life was changed, like completely changed. It's such an emotional, like if you're a Disney kid, if you watched Disney movies growing up, like even if you're not a fan of the parks, like that is the one thing in the parks that like draws from your love of the movies so much. Especially like the animated like musical movies. But it's literally just a montage of like every Disney and Pixar movie that you love to this like amazing arrangement of the music and fireworks, like I said, and projections, and just it's so good. So at the end, without giving away any spoilers, it's just this amazing arrangement of the end, like the climax of this song that's Happily Ever After. That's Jordan Fisher and Angie K is the name of the woman that sings on it too. And it's just this like insane arrangement. There's like choir singers in the back. It's just like the swell of emotion. I have not been able to see that fireworks show without crying.
That's the
and
one
like
we saw,
not
right?
just like not
Okay.
just like cute little like
No.
oh I have one tear. Like I've had children that come up to me at Disney like, are you okay? Like children thinking that I'm like insane because I'm full on sobbing at this fireworks show.
Yeah, you literally, when we got our spot for fireworks, you looked at me and you went, Becca, you're about to see me cry a lot.
Oh, and then like
I never leave.
Yeah, no. And I'm super serious about like my fireworks like spot. So I told you, I'm like, go do whatever you want to do. I'm gonna sit here and wait, and I will like save our spots.
Well, me and your mom watched To All the Boys I've Loved Before while we were waiting.
Oh, that's right. Bringing it. It all ties together, guys.
It all ties to Jordan Fisher.
I am planning a trip to Disneyland this year, so I'm like excited to see like I know World of Color and like the other like fireworks show that they do over there. So I'm like super excited to see those two. But Happily Ever After, it used to be that Fantasmic was my favorite like nighttime show.
I love Fantasmic.
And I say show because each park has like a different thing. So at Magic Kingdom and Epcot, it's usually like purely like fireworks and music and lasers and stuff like that. But at Animal Kingdom and at Hollywood Studios, called it Hollywood Studios,
Proud of you.
it's more of a show. And Fantasmic is just amazing.
Yeah.
Fantasmic was my favorite because of the fact that it encompassed like so many of the movies, and it was just like, and it had like the singing and the acting and the fireworks and the lasers and the water and the, like all of the stuff.
Yeah.
So that was always my favorite show, even over Wishes. And then Happily Ever After happened, and I was just like, yeah, that's it. That's definitely what it's supposed to be. And Jordan Fisher is like a huge part of that because that song like just automatically already triggers like an emotional response from me because I can, and it ties into why I love musical theater so much is that music specifically like triggers emotion for me more than any other sensory thing.
Yeah.
And I know people who talk to me that will say like a certain smell or a certain like whatever will trigger an emotional response, but for me like music is that like specific songs, specific like shows I can listen to and I can legitimately like trigger a memory or trigger like an emotion from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've heard like a bunch of covers of Happily Ever After, people on YouTube that do it and stuff like that. And they're great, like, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have that same, like, effect, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
This isn't a Disney fan cast, I promise.
Oh my god. Have you guys been listening to the end of our
If you haven't, we have, like, an outro.
Yeah, listen to the end of it. If you haven't been listening in the last 2 episodes, listen to the end of this one.
It's legitimately my favorite thing. But yeah, so we focused on Jordan Fisher. We didn't say this in the beginning, but Jordan Fisher is, he's like mixed. He's multi-ethnic. He's like a mix of a bunch of stuff. He's English, Tahitian, Cambodian, Nigerian, Italian, Greek, and Scandinavian. So
Heck
like,
yeah, Wiki.
whoa. Yeah,
Scandinavian out of left field.
I know. Well, yeah, he's definitely mixed. But he is a person of color, and we are trying to use our platform to bring focus, especially this month that it's Black History Month. And honestly, we're always trying to bring focus to people of color. Me being a Latina, like I understand the importance of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love Jordan Fisher a lot. That's the gist of this episode, guys.
Because so when we were planning this month, we knew that we wanted to do an episode that like focused on a person of color, just because like kind of, so we started doing this in October when we did the Hispanic Heritage Month just episode. And when we were planning on doing another episode like that, the episode that you heard last week, we decided that why not just do the whole month, because we wanted to like showcase those and showcase Black actors and the history of Black people in theater. So we just wanted to make sure that we use our privilege to, lift up those people and to make everyone aware of the amazing people that don't usually get the spotlight.
Absolutely. So obviously it's Black History Month, it's February. So we had last week that we talked about just Black excellence in general. This week we had our center stage episode for Jordan Fisher. I know that we want to talk about possibly having an episode that's basically just covering one show. Yeah. So we're going to do that at some point. Like Becca said, like we definitely love to use our platform to spread positivity and also to, like she said, use our privilege to lift up, other ethnicities and other, people who just need to be included and are being included.
Right. I mean, that's the same reason why we ask for people's pronouns when we interview them.
Oh, absolutely.
The same kind of reasons. Neither of us are Black. And both of us are cisgender. And so those communities we want to include in our community and include in theater because it hasn't always been that way. But that's what this month is all about.
Yep. On that note, I guess we can start wrapping up.
I guess. Every time it gets to wrap up, I get sad.
I know. Don't worry. We'll do this again next week. If you like our show, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It helps us immensely and you might hear your review read out loud. This week's review is from Milna Relly? I'm not sure how to say the last name. I'm sorry. I apologize, but if you want to DM me and tell me how to pronounce your name, I will correct myself next week. And they say, Eni and Becca have great chemistry with each other. I love listening to the podcast and learning about shows that I've never heard of. Oh, it's so sweet.
That's like the best compliment.
I know.
My favorite thing is when people tweet at us or like message us on Discord and are like, hey, I started listening to this because of you. I'm like,
I know.
What a big compliment.
Or like Mott's tells us all the time, like he doesn't actually listen to musical theater, so he doesn't like know anything of what we're talking about. Yeah. But he says that like he loves to listen to us talk because we have great chemistry, which is like insane to me and also my favorite thing.
True. Speaking of Mott's and Discord, you can go to patreon.com/sincerelys to become a patron of SU. Our first 25 patrons will receive a signed podcast postcard. There are a bunch of tiers to choose from. Our most popular one is the $3 tier, which grants you access to our Discord, like we just talked about, that we share with the other WB&E creators. It, honestly, greatest place on the internet. We meet so many good people in there, and it's where we became best friends.
Yeah, for real.
Or, for even better, just up $7, and you'll get access to our bonus episode. Our bonus show.
So that's a total of $10 for those that don't math so well.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Eni. I appreciate that. You get access to our bonus show, The Green Room, where we cover topics that don't fit into the main show. Like, I don't know what we're going to talk about this week, but it's going to be a hoot and a holler.
Do we ever know what we're going to talk about?
I mean, honestly, I'm probably going to mention Cameron Dallas, so if you want the tea on that, go to our bonus episode, The Green Room.
Are we another week on Cameron Dallas? Okay, it's fine.
Listen.
For $5 a month, you can get a shout out on the show. This week's episode is brought to you by Matt, Claire, Josh, Christy, Linton, Motts, Sydney, Brian, Willie, and my mom. I'm not going to be okay calling her Wendy. Like, it's not going to be a thing. Thank you all so much for continuing to support our show and making our dream of podcasting come true.
But, not everyone has all of that extra dough lying around, which is fine. I've never said dough in my entire life. I don't know why I decided at this moment to call it dough. Oh, I'll be like a youth. They don't have that extra bread.
Oh, gosh.
We also have a free Facebook page. You can find it at bit.ly/sincerelyfb. We share memes. We talk about things. There's a couple weeks ago, I was really excited to share about how Lin-Manuel Miranda was talking about how he wants the Hamilton movie to come out soon. We talk about that a lot in there. And then sometimes I give hints about what the next episode.
Sincerely Us is a proud member of WB&E. There are a bunch of shows on the network that we both love, like That's What I'm Talking About, Bagels, and Hello from Elsewhere, which is hosted by Valerie and Casey Winters.
And you can them a lot.
Which you can hear a preview of right now.
Hi, I'm Valerie.
And I'm Casey.
And we're a married couple who loves to travel through fictional worlds.
On our podcast, Hello from Elsewhere, we dive deep into the themes and characters of movies and books, all through a positive lens.
We explore all your biggest questions, like What is Steven Spielberg's obsession with father figures?
What is the history of fictional maps?
And why are animated foxes so attractive?
Oh, Robin Hood.
From Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and Jane Austen
To Star Wars, Marvel, and classic Hollywood.
If it's pop culture, we're interested in exploring the meaning behind it.
With new episodes every other Friday, come visit us in Elsewhere.
I love them so much.
I literally sometimes, this is going deep. I sometimes will go into our shared, because we have like a shared folder with all of the WB&E creators, and I'll just listen to their preview because they're just so cute.
They're adorable. I love them so much. As always, you can follow the pod on Twitter and Instagram at SincerelyUsPod. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at _EenyMeeny. That's INYMEENY.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca Eddows. That's BECCAEDDOWS. Our art is by Vaishon Brandon of Graphite. You can follow him on Instagram at graphite.vm. And like Jordan says in the Happily Ever After Fireworks, which honestly, his greatest work, he says, every step we take brings a new hope, a new day.
Sincerely, us.
It's not a Disney fan cast, I promise.